We won't know what we've got until it's gone. The running away the bees, replacing the trees with concrete. Lack of vision. If they can't see the problems, they need to see an optician. They need to see an optician. Mother Earth is suffocating. She can't breathe. Her lungs are blocked. Capitalism hands all around her neck and its knees in her back. She's heartbroken, like a discarded bride. She cries, eyes filled with blood. She nurtures us from her bosom. All she gets in return is unrequited love. Unrequited love. Earth is our home, our only home. We are connected to the mountains, the rivers, the trees, even the rock stone. Let's preserve the planet we live on. There is no plan net B. If something goes wrong on this one, our collective survival depends on everyone's cooperation. Everyone's cooperation. We won't know what we've got until it's gone. They're running away the bees, replacing the trees. Running away the bees, replacing the trees. Lack of vision. If they can't see the problems, they need to see an optician. They need to see an optician. Mother Earth is suffocating. She can't breathe. Her lungs are blocked. Capitalism hands are around her neck and its knees in her back.
The mission of the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs includes revising Jamaica's legal and constitutional infrastructure and accelerating the pace of reform. The time by the MLCA is...
It is now 12:30. Cherry Natural is a renowned Jamaican dub poet known for her powerful and socially conscious poems. With a career spanning several decades, she has become a prominent voice in the Caribbean literary scene, using her poetry to address issues such as social justice, gender equality, and cultural identity. Her dynamic performances and impactful storytelling have earned her a loyal following and a respected place among the pioneers of dub poetry. In 2019, she received the Muta Baruka Award for Best Spoken Word Poet at the International Reggae and World Music Awards, IRAMA. A Jamaican dub poet, author, motivational speaker, and self-defense instructor, Cherry Natural's work continues to inspire and challenge audiences both in Jamaica and around the world. And today we are really grateful that she could take time out of her literally busy schedule to take us on her journey on the road to success. Cherry Natural, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Kashima.
Look here, no, I want to come to your house so I can get some books to borrow.
We have a whole library here.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it is awesome. What a collection.
It is huge because you only see part of it. You understand?
Wow. That is amazing. I really love it. So let us kick off, Cherry, with your foundation. You know, where did you grow up and how would you describe your upbringing?
Well, I grew up as a baby. I was taken by my grandmother to Westmoreland, Galveston, Westmoreland. So I spent a couple of years there and then came back to Kingston when I was around 7. And then went back and came back when I was 12. And then at the age of 12, I grew up in Almontown. Sierra Street to be exact.
Was it a normal childhood for you in terms of, you know, you playing outside? Did you grow up in a big family? You had any siblings? Or would you say you were a wash belly or only child? What was that dynamic like?
Well, I was the first of around 9 from a father.
Wow.
So, no, I grew up with a huge family and things like that. But everybody was not there, you know, or at the time when I was at a certain age, some of the children didn't born as yet. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have brothers that came after me. So it's mostly them I could play with. You understand? I never have any sister until later. No, yeah, with my father.
What did you admire most about your parents? Like as a youngster, when you're watching them, was there anything that stood out to you that you admired about them?
Well, I spent time with both parents. So both parents never lived together. I'm the only child for both parents. They had me when they were young. So my father, I admire my father for his work ethics and how he used to teach you in terms of he loved to talk. So I'm going to explain things to you. And how he explain things is telling you about his childhood. You understand? That's how he teach you, So him grow up rough, him grow up disciplined, and he had to do a lot of work. So him trying to tell you that you must, you kind of get away with a lot of things because he had to grow up and do a lot of work. So he was a disciplinarian and a worker. He was a plumber. I used to drive JOS bus. That time it was JOS. And a person who was dedicated to his family, even if sometimes, he might be, round with his brethren and playing domino or something like that. But he was dedicated to his family. Yes.
And how was your mom?
Well, my mom now, I spend time with her too. My mother, I'm the first for her too. And she has another set of children. And she was also a disciplinarian, but not someone who would teach us in terms of conversations. No. She just tell you one thing and you must get it. You understand? Yeah. So she never tell us the stories. We never get stories from her like that.
How would you describe Marcia Wedderburn in the classroom?
Marcia Wedderburn was an early cherry natural. I could tell you that. He was very bright, and so I asked questions that people would never normally ask. Nothing I am doing today is kind of bit adapted. This was born. You understand? So Marcia Wedderburn was someone who was kind of bit very mischievous. And do our work, but if you tell me any foolishness, I'm going to question it. No matter who the teacher is or how small I am, I always be asking questions in class.
So what inspired you, Cherry, to become a dub poet, and how did you get started in this unique art form?
Miss Louise Bennett. When I was about 12, going to school, I teach the literature class. I used to love literature class and the different poets that she would engage us with. Claude McKay, you understand, and Louise Bennett was one of them. So I catch on to Louise Bennett because of how she used the language of the common people and how she color it. She color it with a lot of different metaphors and different similes, you understand? So that was what catch my eye, you understand? It was just real, yeah.
So after school now, what was the direction for Cherry Natural? Did you immediately start pursuing dub poetry, or what was that like? Take us back to that moment.
No, I didn't immediately start pursuing dub poetry, but I used to write. So, and then I joined a group called Renaissance Artists Writers Association. I was a part of that, and we used to enter festivals. And I used to enter TST talent contests with the poems then later on, and in my teens still. But one of my very good skill was art. I could draw. You understand? I used to let the children sit down and I would draw them. And I build my own easel. So I remember you get a little half scholarship to go to art school. And I went and, we had people come in and model, or they put up bottles and you draw it and things like that. So drawing was one of the very popular things I used to can do. Yes.
Okay, so you're in the arts, absolutely love it. At what point did you make the transition to say seriously pursue poetry, dub poetry in particular, as a career path?
All right, here what happened. I went to TST talent contest, and I entered TST talent contest. And when I was like rehearsing, well, from younger, they used to kind of be tell me that, boy, I used to let the children them sit down and they listen to my poems, and they used to give me a lot of attention. And children don't really stay still and for nobody. So when I see them stay still and listening, and they would say more, more. So one of the times somebody encouraged me to enter TST talent contest. And while I was at the rehearsal, I was kind of one of the favorite. So they used to tell me, boy, you're bad, yeah, man, and thing. And I never really have experience with doing poetry with a band. So it was Fab Five band, and I go by their place to do the rehearsal. So they used to tell me a lot of things. And the week before, because I also was living in Nannyville, I had performed down at the community center and got a standing ovation. So what happened now in young and my ego didn't have any control. My ego was really obese. And what happened is that all of the things they were telling me at rehearsal and the standing ovation I got done by the community center at Nannyville. When I got to TST talent contest, and they couldn't remember the rhythm. So they just must have said, "Sure, the rhythm give me." I mean, I tell you, I get a big fat boo. A boo where I couldn't come out of my house. Yes, man. I was living in Nannyville, and I tell you the honest truth, I couldn't come out of my house for around a week straight, because even some of the Nannyville people there was at TST right at Crossroad there. Because the ego fly up in my head. So I get a big fat boo. Yes, I didn't know I would have come back from that.
Take us back to how you got past that dark patch, that dark period. What did you do to get past that? And was it challenging? Did you have support?
No, we never have any support, because people never even to understand what we was doing. They never really have no time for me. So I was the one pushing my thing, go join new clubs and things like that. But what got me past it is the whole idea that I like what I do. And time really heals, although the time was short. So it seems as if it automatically healed, because nobody would give me a break. Them come back and tell the whole community, so I get home.
Wow. Now, emerging in the 80s to early 90s as a female poet, what was that like in terms of freedom of expression as a woman and a revolutionary poet?
It wasn't a popular thing. It wasn't a popular thing. Sometimes I am the only female with a lot of males on the show. I used to perform a lot at the like African Liberation Day, anything to do with Black history or anything to do with any charity show I would be called on. And sometimes it's just me alone as female. So it was not that welcoming, because I think they would rather see men do the type of poetry that I do, because I used to kind of demonstrate how I used to perform and things. And the way I write like you're seeing the thing happening. You understand? So they never really kind of was very supportive. It's me have to have the determination.
So Cherry, here it is, the lone female, like you mentioned, most of the times you're just around your male counterparts when you're going to these events. And we're talking about a younger Cherry Natural now. Did you have any support in that moment? And did you have any moments where you doubt yourself or wondered if, you're on the right path? Are you doing the right thing? And what kept you pushing regardless of any obstacles or challenges that you may have encountered?
I had support from the youth club. You understand? And, some of my peers at the youth club and things like that. And I really never doubt myself, because I used to get a lot of praises from the rest of people who was in the arts. Yeah, I used to get a lot of praises, and because I was kind of a bit brave, very brave. And even when people say, boy, that is not for a female, it's a male genre, that and things like that, and nobody not going to give you a break. And I used to work at the studios. I used to go to the studios to see if I could get something record. And when them say, let me hear you, and I start with the poem, them say, no, that is for more like a male. You understand? So I used to get support from my peers, but in the general public, not much. It's just that I was kind of there's something inside of me that was determined.
That kept you, that you kept going regardless.
Yes, definitely.
So, at what point did you realize that you could actually you could actually earn from your poetry, earn from this art?
Well, in Nannyville, people started sending out the words because, as I said, I got a standing ovation. So people still remember that, what I did and things. And the words reach one of the politicians, Mr. John Jr., to be exact, and he asked me to perform at one of those hotels. They were having something, and I went, and it's the first time I got $50.
Oh,
and I
wow.
walked until everybody. I didn't know I could get money from it. Because even when he was announcing me, he didn't even do dumb poetry. Was not popular at that time. So he said, I'm coming up to do some dumb poetry. Dumb poetry. Dumb poetry was popular. You understand? Although you had Uta and Uku and Linton and Mikey Smith, although they were out there, it was not popular. So it wasn't on the tip of people's lip. You understand? So he announced me that I'm coming up to do some dumb poetry. And then I corrected on him, said something like what Miss Lulu. You understand? So that's the first time I got $50. So from then I realized $50 those time was kind of bit, a little change.
Money.
So, yeah, man. From then now I said, wow, I never know I could get money. I didn't start out thinking about money. I started out because I have a revolutionary spirit from very early. And I realized that it's better to, advocate what you want to say through words than fight it out. Because how many people can I fight?
Now, how has your journey as a dub poet shaped your personal growth and perspective on life?
It has shaped it a lot, you understand, because of the consistency now. And what happened that I realized that whatever I want to say, I can put it in words. You understand? I can construct it in words, and I can go out there. And the way now, when I started going out more, a lot of people give me a lot of respect and a lot of praises because they realized I was very consistent. You understand? Nothing could have kind of changed my mind. So it kind of create that for me, that even now, even getting much older in it, I don't worry about the timing or about anything. I just know that poetry will always be here.
But that is still like taking on like a lot, on yourself. Like how do you balance though, like the roles of activism and your artistry?
I balance it, because the poetry, once I touch a mic and have a stage with a mic, trust me, is the poetry going to talk for itself? You understand? And that is where I get the respect. And that is where people tell you that, boy, you give me, you inspire me to want to do this thing. The amount of persons who come up and tell me that, I inspire them. So that is part of the activism, for people to kind of see that you are doing it and can be able to talk out to voice, have a voice. So it's not just me talking. No, you just start to inspire a lot of people to come into, the art form. So yeah, it worked out,
And 1999, your first CD titled Earth Woman was released. It is a timeless piece. Tell us how that came about. Take us back to that defining moment.
Oh yeah, Earth Woman was kind of like my moniker. I used to say I'm an Earth Woman because one of the other things that I must tell you is that from a little girl, when I go by my mother, my maternal mother house, And my aunts are there. I have a lot of aunts there. When you get holiday, then you so kind of straighten your hair. That time you have the comb where you're hot in the fire. And then you run it through your hair. Because my hair was kind of thick. And I was the only one who they could not put it in my hair around behind. You understand? So the whole idea of even that, trying not to want nobody to change my image because I just wanted to be who I am. So the earth woman came from that, natural as the earth. You understand? Yes. So even up to this day, no chemical has ever gone into my hair, and my hair has never been straightened. Yeah.
Wow. And you stood your ground as a child.
Yes. When if I couldn't argue it out, I go hide. And them couldn't find me.
So how you got the name Cherry Natural? How Cherry come about?
When I was born, my father looked at me and said I was kind of very red. You understand? He never said brown or anything, he just said red. And that's how he is the one who gave me the name Cherry. And then a virgin of my name, Mikey. Mikey Dread. Not the Mikey Dread that popular, Mikey Dread, who was also one of the artists at Renaissance Rawa. He is the one when I say Sister Natural, he tell me, no man, too much natural is in the business. Because I had the name Natural from a little girl. Say because of the not wanting to straighten me here, they used to tell me, say, boy, you just natural, you're gonna be a rasta. So I had that name, so I said, sister. Them said, no man, too much sister in the business already. Just said Cherry Natural. That's how, because I already named Cherry, and then they called me Natural as a pet name. So that's how the Cherry Natural come about.
It definitely worked. No, as you're sharing your journey and you're taking us, through these different eras and time periods, do you have any memorable experience or performance that stands out, as part of your career, especially coming up?
Yeah, I had memorable experiences, and that's why I could not give up, because I remember the club Rawa. It went on. We used to go on retreats for the weekend. So we went to Portland Cottage, and then in the we have different programs that we designed for that weekend. So in the Saturday evening, we had a performance, a concert, and I did a poem called Fatherless Child, and everybody was crying. Everybody, the way I can bring it across, everybody was crying. So I was like, the next day, I was like a little star. You understand? Yeah. So I bring it across on what I wrote. I don't ask me to find that poem. I don't know where it is. Yes. But everybody.
Poems are like they're words on paper, and then everything now is how it is presented, the delivery, and your ability to evoke different types of emotions. Take us through that process, Cherry Natural. Like, how do you tap into yourself to just not present words to people when you're delivering your poetry, but to do it in a way to evoke emotions?
I am actually a person who was very passionate already, and I used to, communicate a lot in terms of with my brothers. We used to argue about who is a better singer, who is a better artist. So we used to argue about Bob or Dennis. Him love Bob, him love Dennis, I love Bob. And so I'm passionate about everything that I do. So that is where that comes from. I don't have to put on an act. It just comes naturally. You understand? So that is where you kind of get because I write it, I know what I am feeling. So I used to just be in a lot of debate and talking about a lot of stuff, and be very passionate about a lot of stuff.
No, and that in itself is definitely an art, like just being able to deliver it, just how you deliver it. But have you ever had a situation, except from the time in the early stages when you got booed and you eventually got over it, have you ever done a piece or done a performance that wasn't liked by persons or even people that you respect, and how were you able to deal with that?
Well, I have done pieces. All right. Back in the days, it don't happen now. When I used to write a lot of strong pieces about women, advocating for women and women rights and things like that, because I knew how I grew up. I knew what I had to go through. So I put myself in that, and I was observant. And when I'm performing any of those pieces, you would see like all the man them just start walk out of the audience. Yeah, they just walk out. And one virgin literally told me that I am trying to kind of let his woman be too conscious that he's not going to be able to control her.
What
That yeah, man. Even my brother told me that his woman wanted to watch a DVD of mine, and he tell her not to watch it, And I wanna ask him why. He said, "Yeah, but why is her up too much?" Honestly, so I have had those things literally happen to me. So when I see that, I said I must be onto something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you use that as a motivational tool as opposed to feeling discouraged then?
I use it as a motivation because I realized that I was saying something that was very critical. Because somebody can tell me that I'm liberating this woman away from him. That is what I want. I want to help to liberate women. So, I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy that he told me that. You understand?
How has dub poetry evolved since, you began, and where do you see it heading in the future?
Now, poetry has evolved a lot, although you find that the practitioners, the ones that was there before me, they still have the kind of same type of pattern in terms of dub poetry. Like for me personally, I came with my own style. You understand? So I might do it like the original dub poets. I do it according to how I feel, but people are going to say it's dub poetry. You understand? And some of the traditional dub poets might not think that a lot of the people who call themselves dub poets now are dub poets because maybe they lack certain tenet or something like that. You understand? So it has evolved that it has even produced me, who is kind of been totally different from what a Jean Winterpriest would do. You understand? A Jean Winterpriest, and it's totally different from quite a few of the other dub poets would do, like and
the drums and yes.
With him, and I go by feelings.
Mm-hmm. I totally understand that. Now, have you ever, or do you feel the weight on your shoulder in terms of, the things that you speak in your poetry, and then, having to walk that talk or live that particular lifestyle? Have you ever found yourself kind of conflicted in being this person through your art, and then you're also expected to maintain same in the life of Marcia Wedderburn?
Not really, because I'm coming from the days when it was not something that it was looked upon for a woman to be doing that. It's very small amount of women was in it. So I know that was a time that was very challenging for me to break that ice. You understand? And now that people understand, and I will be walking on the road, and if I even stand up somewhere and they don't even know me personally and I talk, they would say, "Cherry Natural," you understand? Because them say your voice, I have a unique voice. So people will recognize me, and taxi man will be shouting me out, and quite a few people, would give me that attention. But back then in the days, once I came through that, it becomes a little bit easier. I'm sure of me. I'm more sure of myself. You understand? Yes, I don't see it. I don't see it as any burden. And for me, in terms of living up to some of the things I said, it's really my personal belief, you know. Some of it is my personal belief, you understand? And even about the poem that you played a while ago, Earth is our home, I strongly is a nature person, and I strongly is connected. And when you go by, one of the things that I looked at when I went by Elsha, I actually see the sea coming right in to the land till it even reached the houses that they build. So that part about the sea eating up the land, it's really, you know, I went there and saw it. So a majority of the things, I really believe in the things that I said.
And just like that, I want to give our listeners another piece of Cherry Natural. And as we wait for the cash pot to come up, which is at 1 o'clock. But Cherry Natural.
Well, it is a winning and a morning and a catching up faith in the dance.
Yeah, you know, I remember back in the days when relationships used to be genuine, real. So all me ask is, when last? Me no say nothing. There comes a time when you want more than flesh. You want a break from the stupid mistakes, followed by the apologies. Love and abuse cannot coexist. The soul needs something legit to nurture the growth of the spirit. Relationships are sinking in the emotional sea of hormonal overdose. No connection. The desire to undress someone seems to be more important than conversations. We're not reading, so we can't hold no proper reasoning.
When me use Island Fresh with aloe vera, it make me skin feel so much smoother. So if you want to feel better and smell fresher, use Island Fresh with aloe vera.
Manufactured by Island Products, 934-0666.
The time is...
It is now 12:59. We are standing by. Listen up. Your top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick and cash pot. Lunchtime draws up next.
Ramp like two little picnic. When last we compliment each other genuinely. When last we give each other a back rub, then lie down and...
Ventures lottery games. This could be your lucky day. Get your tickets out and let the games begin.
Good afternoon and happy Thursday, June 6, 2024. I am Kimberly. Welcome to this afternoon's Supreme Ventures live game draw. Before we begin, here's a quick look. Live draw. 24. I am Kimberly. Welcome to this afternoon's Supreme Ventures live game draw. Before we begin, here's a quick look at our mid-morning winning numbers. All live draws are being supervised by the Bets in Gaming and Lotteries Commission and observed by the independent auditing firm PwC. Now let's put some money in your top draw. This afternoon's jackpot is back at $200,000. Congrats to the mid-morning winner. And here now are your top draw numbers. And first up for top draw, we have 2. The second winning number, that's 19. The third top draw number making its way is 15. The fourth number coming down is lucky number 7. And the final number for $200,000 is 21. Now let's pick your play with our dollars game. I hope you're feeling lucky. And first up for dollars, we have the number 35. The second winning number, 29. The third dollars number is 21. Following is 15. Next up for dollars is 23. We're now with lucky number 13. What's next? That's 30. 25 follows. Coming down slowly is a countdown to 24. 6 is next. 32. Let's wrap our dollars game up for this afternoon with the number 2. And now for some easy winnings with our Pick 2 game. Let's play. And first up for Pick 2 is 17. The second winning number, 18. So once again, the winning pick 2 numbers are 17 and 18. Up next, you can play it 3 ways. It's our pick 3 game. Now here we go. The first winning pick 3 number, that's 5. The second number is 7. And the third and final number is 8. So once again, the winning pick 3 numbers are 5, 7, and 8. Now it's time to turn up your winnings. Get ready for pick 4. And the first winning pick 4 number is 9. The second number, 7. Now for the third pick 4 number, we have 8. And the fourth and final number is 6. So once again, the winning pick 4 numbers are 9, 7, 8, and 6. Now this one, it's easy for win. So let's heat things up with hot pick. And this afternoon's winning hot pick number is 11. Congratulations to all hot pick winners. Again, the winning number is 11. Now, if you never know, now you know you can win $280 for every $10 winning cash pot bet. Let's get ready to play our cash pot game for Thursday, June 6, 2024. You live to play it, but can you win it? Get ready to be a big cash pot winner, and let's see what the winning cash pot number will be. Now, this afternoon's winning cash pot number is 29. Congratulations to all cash pot winners. Again, the winning number is 29. Now, let's make those winnings, and good luck to you. Let's see, what will it be this afternoon as the balls are bubbling? It is a mega ball that has been selected. And now it is time for the big one, the monster winning. So good luck once more. Keep those tickets out. What will it be? Are you feeling lucky? The balls are bubbling, and it is a monster ball that has been selected. Remember to go mega and monster 6 times per day for cash pot for more chances to win. Again, the winning cash pot number is 29. The lucky mark is person. And for mega, a mega ball was selected for pick 3, pick 4, cash pot, and hot pick. And for monster, a monster ball was selected for cash pot. Now let's take a look at this afternoon's winning numbers. Congratulations to everyone who won. Too smutty, just win the lotto. 2 lucky winners from Bull Bay and East Kingston just won the share of $37 million. Could you be one of our 2 newest millionaires? Check your lotto tickets now. Please join us again at 3 p.m. for more games you love to play. I am Kimberly. Have a supreme afternoon.
Hope you were a big winner. Play your favorite Supreme Ventures games every day and tune in for our live draw 6 times a day at 8:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:25 p.m. on this station. Supreme Ventures, making winners every day.
That was the lunchtime top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cash pot draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Join us again at 3 p.m. for another chance to win in hot pick and cash pot special pot draws. If you're just joining us, we are on the road to success, and we're journeying with none other than dub poet Cherry Natural. Now, Cherry, how has traveling and performing internationally influenced your perspective and your poetry?
Yeah, it has influenced it a lot, you know. I got a residency in 1999 to 2000 in the UK. I represent the Caribbean. So we had 4 writers. You have one from Iceland, one from the UK, one from Finland, and myself from representing the Caribbean. And we did a lot of workshops and into the prisons, in some of the hardcore, high security prisons, and the universities and youth clubs and libraries. And that was really an experience. So that has influenced me a lot in terms of going into the prisons and seeing how the prisoners respond to poetry. You understand? And how they say they have their own little poem, and how they say that they use writing as a healing method. You understand? So Yeah, they use, and then we go into the mental hospital, St. Andrew Mental Hospital, where a lot of people can't get through to those people. And they are not that people who've gone, but we went and did a workshop there, and they write their own poems and some of the things that they say, and you understand life and how it can turn, because there was this man who said that his parents want him to be a doctor, and he didn't want to be a doctor, he wanted to be a farmer, and he was keep saying that. So that was his trigger. You understand? In the how parents pressure their children to be who they don't want to be, and then at the end of the day, how it can really cause a lot of mental breakdown, So with that kind of opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. And then in the US, traveling in the US, in the colleges and things like that, because we do mostly colleges and festivals, and you see how the people respond, although the language, the barrier is, some of the poetry is in Jamaican Creole. So the language barrier is a little bit different, but they don't want you to kind of water it down. They want to hear the Jamaican language. And I am also a PhD study, the spiritual from Indiana University, did his master's on my work, me and another poet named Ubala, and did his PhD on our work. So we have to be going there. We went there a lot of times, and we go to Indiana University, and they had an ethnomusicology class where they study the Jamaican patois. That's what they teach. So they bring us up there to, demonstrate it in poetry and do workshops and things like that. So it let me understand how much the people outside of Jamaica value the language and value the uniqueness of, a particular style. Yes.
Well, hearing you speak about like this workshop and how useful it is, do you feel like this is something that can be introduced, for example, in Jamaican schools, especially with the rise of violence among the students? Do you think that this is something that you would want to undertake or be a part of, so they can use their words instead of just getting physical?
Interestingly, you have a poetry group, which I'm a part of, and the nomadic poetic trad, and they are doing a lot of wonders in the schools, What happens is that they do it at the end of the year, and they do workshops. You understand? Because I did one of the workshops at the university, and we have gone through quite a couple schools. So it's something that is already happening. You understand? Yeah, but it's under support,
I would love to help to raise awareness on that. And, I don't know how the schools are selected with the workshops that you're currently a part of.
That would be nice. That would be very nice. The person who is in charge of it is called Malachi Smith, who is also a dub poet. So, I could let him know, and he could maybe, give you a call. He lives in Florida. He lives in Florida, but he's doing a lot of wonderful work in the schools with the poets, the different poets. Yeah.
And, you are known for engaging with the youth. And, what basically would you say motivates you, Cherry, to work with young people, and what impact do you hope to have on them?
It's from I was small, I've been working with children. I love children. And because I use them to, when I'm doing my storytelling, I read my poetry, and them listen to me, and we run joke, and I play games with them and things like that. And I even take them on rides, like when they had a bus that you can go around Kingston with it. I don't remember what that bus name, but I would gather them up, and the parents would trust me to take them. Some of them is brothers and sisters, some of them is, different children. We live into a tenement yard in Allentown, and the children there, I took them on rides, and I would sit with them, read stories, tell them all type of stories. Some of them is all over the world, and even up to today, if I meet them telling me about a story that I used to tell them. And I used to live by Mountain View. I gather the children there, and I would take them to get stuff, take their mango, go to look mango in Kingston and call it Mango Bush for them to get a little sense of what country life would be like and teach them a lot of stuff. When I could come um, discipline them, they would listen to their parents, you understand? And I also teach children. So I learn a lot from children because they are very honest. You understand? And they don't, you can be yourself. You don't have to have this big ego and, lick in your chest. I am Cherry Natural. You forget who you be and just, be yourself and be on their level, and they teach you a lot, So I do a lot of work with children.
And that we know. Tell us about your work as a martial arts instructor, teaching children and women self-defense.
And even men. I teach a lot of men. Yes, I teach a lot of men. Of course, because I'm not going to teach them. Because sometimes you have men who don't really is that aggressive and, go out there. If they are not aggressive like the other set of men, then they might, feel threatened by it. Because men who are better, like more aggressive and even more stronger are better, always kind of suppress they try to kind of bully the ones who are not like that. And it's not all men rough and tuggy. So I teach them and tell them what to do, you understand, and they really appreciate me and a lot, you understand. And women, I teach a lot of women in terms of, and I have some good stories to tell about women who get away from car taxi man want to take her away. And it's because I teach, I teach the hearing impaired. And one of the girl, a taxi man was taking her away. They had an interpreter, a person who signed and tell them exactly what is happening. I showed them the demonstration. And there was this one girl who a taxi man was taken away, and it's a technique that I show her that she could use and get away out of the car. And you have women who are in domestic violence situation. And I teach them what to do because I'm trained in that. I've been doing that for a couple of years now. And to children are an endangered species right now, because a lot of people, it don't come on the news all the while, but a lot of children are going missing. And they are they are adults who are very cold, you understand, and evil. Because if you can hurt a child, you are heights of evil, you understand. So I take pleasure in teaching a child what to do. You understand? If somebody, should try to take her away or take him away, boys and girls, and I show them what to do, because self-defense has a lot of tricks and a lot of techniques and a lot of things. You can go for the vulnerable areas. It doesn't matter how strong someone is. They have weak areas on their body. So I teach them where to hit and pressure points and nerve endings and, how to damage somebody if they are trying to hurt them. You understand? And I take pleasure in saying I do that. I don't feel bad about that.
So Cherry, was it something specifically that you experienced that led you to martial arts with a special focus on self-defense?
Definitely. When I was a young girl, I used to go walk across race course. I was going to Kingston Secondary, and I was living in Town, so I would walk across race course, and then I would end up at my school. And coming home in the afternoon, you'd have a lot of boys. I was around 13, 14, or even 12, and you just start having breasts. And a lot of boys would be on the corner, and I used to just hate passing them. Because I used to just mock you and say, I don't think they do it that much now, but back in my days when I was that age, and they used to want to touch your breast, and they used to want to, and sometimes they don't touch your breast gently, although they're not supposed to do it. Them tug on it, them do all type of things, and them, tell you all type of things that you don't want to hear. And I was afraid. So I would have to take the other road. You understand? Instead of close to my house, right? At the top of the road, I'm close. When I swim, I would have to take the other road and walk right around. And it was something I never liked, feeling fearful. And I just went and studied martial arts. My neighbor started teaching me. And then my neighbor, it never worked out with my neighbor, because my neighbor only watch show. I show my neighbor watch. So my neighbor never know much. So I went and not my parents, not anybody tried to coerce me to do it. I did it off my dad to tell you how when I was a young girl, oh, I was way ahead of my time. So I went and found out the martial arts schools are, and then I found one at the YWCA, a kung fu school, and I went there. And even I used to eat, sleep, and dream about martial arts. Even when I'm eating my dinner, I'm doing some of the techniques.
Wow.
Yeah.
Describe for us like the response that you get, especially from children in teaching them martial arts, because it is also a form of discipline as well. What is that reaction? If you can just share like an outstanding moment that you might have had with a student, just how it has impacted or changed their lives.
Have many outstanding moments because like I teach from grade 1 to grade 6 at one school, and then I teach some bigger children at another school. But what happened when they reach like around grade 5, grade 6, especially the boys, they get very aggressive and they don't listen to anybody. You understand? I find I get a maximum respect because they know that whatever I teach, I can actually do it. In terms of, I'm not teaching something that I can't do. So every technique I show them, I can do it. And every exercise I show them, I can do it. And there was this fight break out all the while. And sometimes, and even when I'm not at school, because one school I'm a part-time teacher, they only teach on a Thursday. And when I'm not, when I come to school on a Thursday, everybody have all the complaints during the week what the children do. And the children are very afraid. When they might disrespect another teacher, they ain't doing it. They don't do it. And they are very much, have to understand the discipline. So one boy got into a fight and he wanted to, when I saw him and I break him up and he was talking, I said, why are you fighting? And he said that the person telling him about his mother. And I said, you know your mother? He said, no. And he was like, out of breath, you understand? And I said, don't know your mother, so what can he tell you about your mother? And then he look at it and he said, true innocence, he don't really know my mother, but I never really thought about that. He said, yeah, I don't really, because he tell me about my mother why I was fighting. But I know it is because he tell him about his mother. So he changed it because he said, look stupid. Because I asked him if he know him, if the boy know his mother. So some fights is not everybody can go and break it up. And I can go and break it up. They would not even resist. Yes, so that is what
I'm happy that you shared that story because, in teaching them to protect themselves, it's also a thin line, like having this skill, you don't want to go and bully anybody or just become so quick and ready to fight. So what is that message?
No, my martial arts class is an hour with each class. A lot of people have a misconception about martial arts. I am a martial artist first, but I specialize in self-defense for women and children. You understand? But my martial arts class starts with meditation. And then from meditation, you start to say some quotations, which Marcus Garvey quotations is a part of it. And then you do some breathing exercise. You understand? And then we go into some techniques and then we use equipment. And then after that now, around the last 10 minutes, I start to talk to the children. I start to tell them about life and tell them what to do. And nobody can use that on. I said, it's only for what I'm teaching you is only to help you if your back is against the wall. And if your back, I said, self-preservation is the first law of nature. Self-preservation. You understand? So I tell them, say, no, if you are threatened or somebody wants to hurt you and you can't run, you must use it. Yes.
Now, Cherry, let's talk about Cherry Natural, the author. Tell us about your books and where can we get them? Are they in bookstores, online? How we can find them?
Well, you have, I have 3 books out. You have Comic Reason, you have The Lyrical Contortionist, and you have Earth Woman. And most of them are online. Some of them is in Bookophilia, the University Bookshop, and the bookstore at the airport.
Okay, absolutely nice. So make sure you go and check out Cherry Natural's book. In terms of new poetry, are you working on anything specific at the moment?
Yes, I am working on something. I'm working on a book, self-defense tips that you get self-defense tips from,
Nice.
and some inspirational poetry to back it up. You understand? It's like a guidebook for protection, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Yes.
Do you have a personal mantra or philosophy that guides your life and your work?
Yeah, the whole idea is that is you must invest in self, mastery of self. Every day, you must do something to improve yourself. You understand? And I want, before I forget, I want to let the people know that I will be at the Jacksall Sports Complex on the 29th of June. And it's a show put on, it's a conscious reggae concert, and it's a family fun day. You understand? And that is the 29th of June. Please come and check it out, because you might also get some martial arts tips, some self-defense tips.
Okay, nice. I love that. Now, let's talk about Cherry Natural, the mother. How would you describe your relationship with your children?
Very good, you know. I have a son and I have a daughter, and it's challenging because sometimes you kind of it as a mother and self-defense instructor. Sometimes you see the danger that they don't see, and it's hard to keep on teaching children that, you know, out there might be dangerous. And when they get big, they want to go out and they want to party and they want to do what they want to do. And if you keep on bringing it up and saying that you must be careful and you must do this, and they said, why are you thinking so negative? I said, no, it's not thinking negative. It's just being practical. You understand? And both of my children did self-defense up until around age 16. Yeah.
Okay. So I get the feeling that Cherry Natural as a mommy very strict, you know.
Necessarily. When them get big, I have to understand that they have their own personality. When they were very small, yes, I guide them, but not in the sense of too strict, because I used to tell them a lot of stories, give them books and things like that. But when they get bigger now, I kind of understand that they have their own life and their own personality.
You know what I want to ask you? What would you say are some of the specific challenges faced by dub poets in general in the performing arts industry?
Not getting enough promotion. And sometimes I'm only called dub poets when they're having charity. You understand? They don't put them on big shows and realize and try to think that they are relevant. You understand? So that is it. You have some people who will get promotion and get shows and still be going overseas and things like that. But locally, a lot of dub poets are kind of a little frustrated because they don't get enough promotion. And we have to say big respect to Sister Elise Kelly, you know. Big respect to Talia. Big respect to Amber. Big respect to Kabu. Big respect to yourself, because I know you are a poet also, and you understand the passion of poetry. You understand? But away from that, you know, we don't get that amount at the platform, and we are doing a lot of stuff because you know, there are poets who will tell you that poetry is the conscience of the people. You understand? And there's a lot of things that we have to inform the people about. You understand, through poetry. So if we could just get, and we have to say big respect to IRFM in general. IRFM has always been in our corner. Yes, IRFM has given us a lot of promotion. You understand? Could be a little bit more. You understand?
Yes, agreed.
A little bit more. And it would be nice if people could just include at least, and Muta too. Muta is somebody where prayer poets, you know. Now feel no way, you know. And when Muta likes something, you know, live on it, you know. I'm telling you. You understand? And we respect Muta for that. You know, we have to give Muta that credit, because Muta is one of the person who produced a poem for me called Fire Upon this and Fire Upon that. And maybe nobody else will produce it, but him understand what it say and what it means. You understand? Yeah. So, yeah, man. So, we just need people like the disc jocks. Never heard them program them drop in a 1 and 2 poems. As long as it have a strong message for the people, because the people, we from experience, we understand that the people want to hear poetry. Yeah, they want to hear poetry. And you know, the poets need a little bit more supporting.
And look, you have said it all for them. I'm sure that poets near and far are truly pleased with how you have represented and handled that question. And I couldn't have you on and not ask it, because I know the cry, and you know, I hear it and I see it and I feel it.
Because if you call the poets, you know, they're going coming out. A lot of times they call the poets, even if IRFM call them, they're going to come. You understand?
Yes, that is true.
So, the IRFM even include the poets in their awards, and that is kind of commendable. That is commendable. You see the track that you did about when last? That track is wise words, you know. Tell me that he got a rhythm and called me to do something on the rhythm, and the person for the rhythm is Nigel, and Nigel is the one who produced it. And I think that is complete, that is very exemplary, because sometimes people just talk about the bad things they are going, and they don't talk about the good things that is happening. You understand?
Yes, that is awesome. And, you know, big up to Wise Words. You have had him on the e-buzz as well, and he's very active on the IRFM WhatsApp line. So, you know, and from time to time, he'll send me his work. So big up to Wise Words. And it's great that you highlighted that as well, Cherry.
I must, because we can't say we want change. And at the end of the day, we think say it's all about us. I alone can't make the change. You understand? You know, and when the collective, when we work in and the collective, you know, we push the collective, the work is stronger. So I am of that belief, you know, and I hope everybody will see that. So we don't really need competition. We need cooperation.
Collaboration.
Yes, yes.
Now, looking back at your career, what do you consider your greatest achievement, and how do you hope to be remembered when we think about your legacy?
My legacy is I'm going to be remembered with the children, with how I teach the children, and how I talk to them, and how I show them love. You understand? Because they are living in a world that every day you kind of find that we are kind of a bit distrustful, especially children of adults, according to what we hear on the news. That children listen to the news sometimes, you know. So my biggest legacy is working. I work with hundreds of children, hundreds. So some of them will speak people now. And then in terms of writing for the people, writing so the people can understand and then can kind of change up some things, or even when last and walk and hold hands. A lot of people never even remember that, say, yeah, we don't really do well as people, man and woman. Oh, no, you know, we're doing that dance together, you know, and we touch on different topics and bringing different topics in a unique way that I bring it. That's going to be my legacy. And that is what I work on. I work on my legacy. I'm not here for the fanfare, you know. I'm not here for really, you know, because we're living in the information age. So talking cheap, right, you know, talking dust cheap. Cheap. You understand? Anybody can talk.
That is true. And finally, I don't know where the time go. What advice would you give to young, aspiring dub poets who want to follow in your footsteps?
Invest in your craft. You see, like how you see my library, baby?
Yes.
I buy stuff because I realize that to be a writer, you have to read. You can't be a writer if you don't read. Invest in your craft. Keep mastering your craft. Keep working at it. Keep editing. You understand? Don't just leave it at that. And have hope, man. And when you go out anywhere, don't see it like, say, you're competing with anyone. Because at the end of the day, you know, we are stronger together. Yeah.
Cherry Natural, this was absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. Messages are coming in for you. This one says, big up to Cherry Natural, real black woman. King Tubby said that, and please say big up to Chin. All right, bless up yourself. This person says, please ask her to do the dub. I know the feelings. And this person says, big up yourself, Short Queen. One more great interview, with my sister and favorite female dub poet, Cherry Natural. Tell her to keep burning the fire, Hashtag Shangabeng and the Spanish Town family. And this person says, good afternoon, Kish. She is my favorite dub poet. I love her vibes. Please say happy birthday to Raspasa in Alderton. It's coming from Yellow in Claremont. And Martha the Barber in Augustown says, great interview. Real lady, who highlights Black history and culture. And this person says, great interview. Kish, big up to Cherry Natural and inspiring interview. Proud of myself. All right, bless up yourself. Big up, give thanks for messaging in. And this person says the interview is above. The interview is above. It was airy and it was nice, and I learned a lot. Big R up for me. Big up to Cherry Natural. It's coming from Rohan Johnson in Atlas Ocho-Race. And this one says, Kishima, what an awesome interview. I write poems, but I cannot recite a single one. How does my friend Cherry Natural retain so much in that little head of yours? You are a mentor and a role model. You are indeed our inspiration. I salute you, African Queen. Continue to bless the world with your strong, vibrant, and inspirational works. And that is coming from Mama Jackie Roots. Love the messages. And this final one, it says awesome motivational interview, Kishima. Big up to Cherry Natural, she's natural. It's coming from Carrie. Bless up yourself. Thank you so much for sharing. So much messages coming in, Cherry Natural. This was really awesome. Thank you again and continue being great.
And big respect on your road to success. Big respect,
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And of course, going out with a fiery one from Cherry Natural,
Slanguage Part 2. And notice, when election they near, the cannies them come around with one bag of chattings to seduce the masses with them flowers coated tongue. Action answer, beautiful speaking can't help jam down. The last time me check, promises did make, taxes collect, all I know poverty can't go down yet. A politicians and them friends alone want to have the good things them. The good house them and the good car them. You fi see the money them spending. The Kyle tick like Sightman dumpling. Just out and stunting, not working. Hear them now, away walk go. A them run things. The education man there never read between the lines. Right in front him eyes, fully dunce was on the rise. The only thing on him mind was the dollar sign. It's no coincidence, cruel and him first name rhymes, allegedly. Down to the rules of the schools, the crooks use them higher senses for Bennett. Mr. Speaker, you see in a real life, between the two color, none no better. All them doing is playing tit for tat. One desperate and a fret, so him a just so chat. The other one, bank book is getting fat. According to him wife, him is bringing sexy back. While crime and violence escalating and the public hospitals under rat attack. Alibaba and the 40 thieves behind the budget steering wheel, driving the country over a precipice. If them no shadow the brakes, we going have to usher them out of parliament quick, and the whole we know how. So can I get a wow? Wow. Can I get a wow? Wow.
Come and enjoy your Wendy's Dave's